Kudakwashe Matereke is our guest, and he's the regional director when it comes to matters operations at East Africa under the Afreximbank. They're here in the country and they have launched amazing stuff that we want to get to know that will enable your connectivity, which as well ties in with our conversations courtesy of Safaricom Business. Welcome to the Trading Bell Show. Let's get straight to the conversation. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. It's good to have you here. And anytime I mention Afreximbank, it's quite a name and it's associated with big things, if I may say that, when it comes to Matters Africa. But allow me to ask you to let the viewers know just a little bit of a mandate of what Afreximbank does in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Afreximbank was created in 1993 and commenced operations in 1994.
Okay.
And the establishment of the bank was coming as a result of failure in international financial markets to help African countries and third world countries to access trade finance.
Yeah.
So you may recall that there was, in the 1980s, the failure by the South American economies, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, to repay their loans.
Yeah.
And the international financial system basically characterized all developing economies as highly risky.
Yeah.
And that presented a challenge to most African countries to access international trade and to finance their imports and their exports.
Yeah.
So a decision was made by African leaders to set up a trade finance bank, a bank that would have a mandate to stimulate, expand, diversify, and develop African trade with a special emphasis on intra-Africa trade.
Okay.
And the bank does this, and the mandate is that we do this through provision of credit, provision of guarantees, and provision of advisory services.
Awesome.
And the market is obviously Africa.
Definitely.
And as things have evolved in the African continent, we have seen the bank having to develop more instruments to support trade in Africa because we needed to respond to the situation that is presented in developing Africa. Okay. We now have also what we call now the global Africa with the incorporation of the Caribbean countries. We now have 12 CARICOM states which have become members of Afreximbank. So it's been a long journey for the last 30 years, but we are now here where we are with Afreximbank now, with subsidiaries that go beyond just the provision of what I said, credit guarantees and advisory services. We have now established FEDA, which is the Fund for Exports Development in Africa that provides equity to projects that are export-oriented. And we are now investing in industrial parks, etc., which is now quite a significant part of the business. So that in terms of background, that is who we are, established by African heads of state to fill the gap that had been created because of the departure of international financing into Africa. And 50 all African countries now are member states.
Wow.
And we are open to do business in all the African countries. Okay. So that's just a brief background on Afreximbank.
Yeah. I know trying to summarize all that in a minute or so could be a task, but thank you so much for that context. You are here in Kenya. And when I was listening through the conversations that were happening in your conference, there was an amazing ATG launch, and if I may use the initials of it all, which you will help us understand. It's all about enabling trade in Africa. Could you paint a picture of why you're here and what was all this? Because I saw you bring government and businesses together for enabling trade.
So we were here for the last 2 days working with the government of Kenya, the SMEs, private sector, commercial banks, fintechs, logistic companies, launching what we call the Africa Trade Gateway. The Africa Trade Gateway is a digital platform established by Afreximbank, incorporating all the other participants, but with a view to making access to markets for African SMEs,
Yeah.
especially becoming more relevant now in light of the AfCFTA.
Yeah.
How can we get a small to medium enterprise company
Yeah.
that is in Kenya trade more in the East Africa community, but
Yeah.
beyond that, trade with the SADC region, trade with the West African counterparties,
Yeah.
with North African counterparties,
Yeah.
in a manner that helps us respond to the need to improve intra-Africa trade.
Yeah.
That's what the ATG was about.
Okay.
So we are working with our partners here, bringing in the Ministry of Cooperatives and SMEs, bringing in the Ministry of Trade, and getting us to get the SMEs to sign up
Yes.
as members of the ATG, because this is the way we believe that they can get access to information,
Yeah.
they can get to trade across the borders in a safe manner, and in a manner that will ensure that they actually get paid and settled in a currency of their own or in a currency of their choosing. So
Okay.
that's part of what we were here for.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big, because when we look at the immense potential, and I love the fact that I feel there's a partnership elements here with already established
Collaboration,
protocols.
yes.
Absolutely. I see it as a great potential to have myself probably thinking how much is coffee in Ethiopia, and I can easily probably buy it.
Yeah.
And we'll be digging more deeper into that. But allow me to just segue this and say, from what I'm hearing you talking about digital ways of ensuring that we can trade. It means connectivity is a big part of it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And to our viewers, by the way, this conversation is sponsored as well by Safaricom Business. And we are talking matters connectivity here. So I hope you're well connected at the Safaricom Business. Let me come back to the big picture of ATG, as you have already given us a highlight on it. In your own words, what makes ATG such a critical piece of infrastructure for boosting this intra-African trade, and how does it differ from other digital trade platforms that we have seen, in your opinion?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the ATG, or the Africa Trade Gateway,
Yes.
seeks to solve a number of challenges.
Okay.
So if we can start with understanding the challenges,
Yes.
and what the value proposition
Yeah.
would be in what ATG is solving.
Yeah.
So firstly, we have an issue of access to markets. How can traders access markets
Yes.
which beyond their own home markets? It's all good to trade at home.
Yeah.
It's good to trade regionally, but with the coming in of competition under the FCFTA, traders are encouraged to go beyond
Absolutely.
their borders,
Yes.
and to go beyond the areas that they've traditionally been comfortable trading in. So it's the trade access to markets.
Yeah.
The second part
Yeah.
is they are seeking trustworthy sources of traders. They need to know that if I'm dealing with a company that says they are from Sudan, or they are registered in Nigeria, those companies have been properly verified and tested.
Yeah.
Or verified, and their identity is known. Thirdly,
Yeah.
there is the issue of trade information,
Yes.
intelligence.
Yes.
We need the right sources of information for dealing with companies where you know what to source from where, which country
Yeah.
or which market
Yeah.
is the best products for a particular sector.
Absolutely.
Thirdly, we're dealing with financing. ATG provides that platform where financing can be accessed. And lastly, is payments and settlement.
Yeah.
That's what the ATG provides. It's a wide array of the solutions that it provides, having identified what the challenges are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ATG is an ecosystem which brings together commercial banks, financiers, fintechs, logistics providers, and the financiers,
Yeah.
so that funding can be available. So we are looking here at an ecosystem that is already working.
Okay.
And in the case of the other solutions that are provided by other parties,
Yeah.
ours is a conglomeration of all these factors.
Yeah.
But that speaks to the needs of Africans.
I love that, because what you've done is bringing all the challenges that we have seen. Sometimes someone is saying, oh, my bank, oh, currency, oh, all that. So we are seeing that the entire ecosystem is brought in place. As many banks as possible that can come into place.
Yes.
And so we are giving an A to Z solutions for the business person.
For the business.
Yeah.
And we're speaking to the challenges of African traders.
Okay.
That's what, and it's a platform for Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'll be putting you on the spot on this, but do we have, definitely because you have said this is, an ongoing process, do we have some one or two or one example of someone who onboarded and you can say they're super happy because of what's happening already?
Just yesterday, I think we were in that conference yesterday, and United Bank of Africa did give, or they gave us real life examples of how they are mitigating to get traders trading with other African countries get their monies paid under the Pan-African payment and settlement system. Accessing the platform where we match buyers and sellers. So you imagine this. We have a challenge in Africa where KYC is a problem. Know your customer.
Know your customer.
And we generally struggle to verify if an order that has come is being placed by a genuine company. As Afreximbank, we have developed a solution where we onboard all traders. So that's importers and exporters. So a trader who is registered on ATG will now know that once you are dealing with a trader that is on ATG, there is some verification that has happened in the background. So you list your line of business. The exporter also lists their line of business. We are matching supplier and buyer. And then they do their trade on the platform. They list their goods. They list their price. And then on there, you can also choose logistics providers so that the goods can be delivered. So you then negotiate the pricing. If you need financing, the commercial banks that are on the platform can provide the funding. If funding is not provided or is not required, then you've got a settlement that comes in, and perhaps can be the way in which we can settle. And that is already happening. We are speaking here that there is already traders on the system, and we've got 9,000 traders registered. We've got more than 90 commercial banks that are on the system, and it's already working. But it's not enough. Because we need everyone to be on the platform. And this is the reason why we were having a drive yesterday, so that Kenyans can go in. We'll be in Rwanda in a few weeks' time. We'll go to Tanzania. We want as many traders as possible to come on board, register, so that their goods or their business can be profiled and they can be accessed.
Lovely. I think you've heard it. If you're a business person, you better jump in and ensure that you're not left behind if you're thinking about doing your business, even cross-border and the likes. You know, when we talk about money and thinking about you and the name Afreximbank, people just think money when they hear a bank. And there is a gap that needs to be closed. And some facts here. Africa faces a trade finance gap estimated at around $100 billion US. That's a lot of money. And this definitely has an effect on the businesses. So how are you as a bank, through now ATG that you've talked about and other instruments, how are you working to close this gap in East Africa? You're in charge of this.
Chege, what are the issues that we see? We see that there is generally, like I mentioned earlier, there's a perceived high risk of dealing with African counterparties. It hinders access to trade finance and creates even a bigger gap. There is poor access to trade information. There is also very low credibility by those that assess us, especially to provide financial and correspondent banking services. That's what ATG is seeking to address. There's a trade information portal on ATG. People can access information. There is, when we talk about risks in dealing with African counterparties, we're saying we have done KYC on the counterparties. People can actually access information about those companies. And then when you talk about correspondent banking services, we have, in the case of Kenya, we have KCB is part of the platform. UBA is part of the platform. But we need more. People to come in. So ATG is seeking to also cover the trade finance gap.
Excellent.
So that's part of the solutions that we have.
Okay.
It's not all, but in the normal case also we hear that the infrastructure is a problem. We are working outside ATG, of course. We are working with African governments to enhance our infrastructure. These things, you cannot work on one element and hope that you have solved the problem.
That's true.
You have to run on all tracks to deal with the challenges that we have.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. One of the things that I've had a lot of traders talk about, I mean, some of them who have done this for decades and all, is when you want to move a good across a border, it's moving from a government to another government. So there do not definitely be these policy challenges. But as a Afreximbank, I think I look at you as people who have also spoken to these leaders, have met them, and you may not have the legislative power to change policies there, but it's a challenge. I don't know how you want to speak about this, because I want, if my container of coffee needs to go to, let's say, Zimbabwe, I don't want to have to go through so many hurdles or costs in a way, so that at least I am making a profit out of it. These are some of the challenges. I know amidst many others.
Yeah.
How are you helping out in this ecosystem?
I think we now have an intra-Africa trade banking unit.
Yes.
That speaks to advocacy. And that speaks to trade facilitation.
Yes.
And working in conjunction with the FCFTA, we highlight these pain points with the financing that we provide, with the support that we provide under ATG. We do build those issues so that they can be considered and be brought to the attention of the policymakers, so that corrective actions can be taken. But as a bank, we do beyond that. You mentioned the issue of a container moving from one country to the other. We have launched what we call the Continental Guarantee Scheme, which enables a trader to move their goods from the port into different countries but using only one guarantee instrument. We are working with institutions like ZEPRE, providing them capacity so that they can underwrite as many transit guarantees as possible for the movement of goods. So that's also some of the things that we are doing. The other one is the construction of a single border for clearing of goods. We are doing that, and that one has been operated and financed successfully between South Africa and Zimbabwe. We are considering working with a company, some private sector companies, for border between Uganda and South Sudan, at Nimule, so that goods can be tracked electronically and in a manner that is efficient to avoid the delays that we see with movement of goods on the African continent. So there's several initiatives that we are doing in order to smoothen the movement of goods. But it requires all parties to play their role.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Allow me to take a quick short break, and once we come back, we'll be talking about a little bit more on the cross-border payments, what are they doing to help us with it, logistics, and much more, and also how can you benefit out of this. And remember, this conversation is brought to you by Safaricom Business. And at Safaricom Business, we tell you, do not go to any other place where you want proper connectivity, especially now with ATG. You want to ensure that you are well, properly connected. We take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Trading Bell. We are here talking matters digital that will enable Africa and the businesses in Africa trade seamlessly. This is brought to you by Safaricom Business. And remember, Safaricom Business is the trusted shield that protects Kenya's enterprises so that they can digitize with confidence. And we're talking matters ATG. And you know what? ATG in itself, we're talking matters Africa Trade Gateway, courtesy of Afreximbank. And so definitely make sure you're connected. And back to our conversation, sir. when we talked just about policy, I thought about now simplifying the processes of payment. That has been a challenge sometimes because of currencies, all that. How do I pay you? And for a business person, the end result is how quick can I get my money?
Yes.
So it's not delayed. So what are you doing through ATG to ensure that you have simplified payments?
Okay, so payments is a challenge.
Yeah.
We were listening yesterday to a trader who has to connect to Tanzania.
Yeah.
And look for a bureau to change their Kenya shillings into US dollars, and then back to Tanzania shillings in order to settle.
Oh my.
And the Pan-African payment
Yes.
and settlement system
Yes.
was launched. It is now working. It's a working reality in the West African Monetary Zone.
Excellent.
And we have seen traders trading in goods and services, where an invoice is settled in the importer's local currency and the exporter receiving local currency.
Wow.
We see PAPS as a payment rail that provides cross-border and settlement system to the ATG. It's now live.
Yeah.
So what happens is that when a trader in Ghana is trading with a buyer in Kenya.
Yes.
They do agree to the terms. And what happens is that the container comes. And actually, I'm giving an example of a lady who is currently doing that as we speak today in Kenya. She has opened a PAPS account with a commercial bank.
Yeah.
When she sells goods, she instructs, she goes onto the PAPS platform.
Yes.
She instructs a bank to debit her account with Kenya shillings in settlement of an invoice issued by a Ghanaian supplier. The Ghanaian receives Ghanaian cedi, their local currency.
Yes.
And the Kenyan buyer is paid in their local currency.
Yes.
The bank of the buyer in Kenya and the bank of the seller in Ghana, they do the settlement. It is working.
It is working.
And it is something that we are actually encouraging Kenyan companies who are trading cross-border to start using, because it's reality.
Okay.
It's working. That reduces the need for losses that we see on account of people carrying cash and having to change it at the bureau, etc., in order to buy goods.
Lovely.
Yeah.
When you look at ATG, definitely it's a great complement to the challenges we have seen, especially when it comes to infrastructure, from transport to everything else. And I just wanted to give some color. When you look at this complementing work ATG is doing, what partnerships in Afreximbank are you pursuing to continuously tackle this?
I'll give you an example of the logistics. So we are saying that the ATG is an ecosystem of all people involved in cross-border transactions.
You're right.
We're dealing with commercial banks. We're dealing with fintechs. We're dealing with logistic companies.
Yes.
We're dealing with clearing agents. And we're dealing with banks that do the payment.
Quite a number.
So they are there. Everyone that you see on ATG has been verified, has been gone through a KYC process.
Yes.
So as and when traders come onto the platform, they have an option of choosing who the logistics supplier is. And I'm trying to address here the logistics challenge that you highlighted.
Yes, yes.
An instruction can be sent, this is a consignment of goods to be traded, to be delivered from X to Y. The companies are requested to make a cut of the cost that they will have to deliver the goods. The buyer or the supplier chooses who the logistics partner is. The logistics partner, depending on their capabilities, they pick up the consignment. Maybe they give a tracking number to the buyer and the seller. They track the goods. Goods get delivered. If you need payment, then you use your partner bank who is on PAPS to pay. We are solving most of the challenges that you are referring to. So it's challenges of logistics, challenges of settlements,
Wow.
challenges of payments.
Yeah.
And you need a platform,
Yeah.
which is what ATEX, which is the Africa Trade Exchange, is providing. So we believe that all those challenges are being addressed by
You're right.
proper value propositions that are given through the solutions we have on ATG.
That's powerful. In fact, the world is now becoming digital, so
Yes.
it is going to help us a lot with that. As we near the close of the conversation, one of the questions that probably a viewer would be asking is, I'm a small business SME. Am I able to ever, if I have art pieces, for example, sell these art pieces across the border? What I'm driving at is inclusivity, especially for SMEs, youth, and even women.
Yeah.
That they will not feel this is just for the big boys. Do we have a place at ATG for even small businesses?
In fact, ATG is a place for the SMEs.
I love that.
Because if,
Yes.
without mentioning names, imagine the largest cement producer in Nigeria
Yeah.
and the largest construction company in Kenya.
Yes.
If they wanted to trade, they are known.
Yeah.
Anyone can, yes, their KYC. Every bank banks them. Maybe every bank is actually prepared to give them money
Yes.
and funding.
Because they are big. Yes.
Because they are big. And
Yes.
ATG may not be solving a problem between two large corporates in two different parts of the African continent. But ATG will solve the problem between a large producer of goods and a smaller SME who wants to buy goods.
Okay.
Because the smaller player becomes more visible, it becomes more traceable, and trust is built because they have been checked from a KYC point of view. So I actually think that inclusivity is what ATG is bringing to the SMEs, whether SMEs run by the youth or by women or by people that would consider previously disadvantaged from the financial ecosystem.
Yes.
That's what ATG actually appeals to. And if you saw yesterday, the people that were in the room yesterday, it was deliberate. We are not targeting high-end, large manufacturers and consumers on ATG. We are targeting emerging entrepreneurs, emerging SMEs, so that they can be. They can also play a role in the intra-Africa trade through the platform of the AFCFTA that is now granted to them. Following its adoption. So that's, we actually think that it appeals to SMEs.
All right. There you have it. It's not how big you are or how small you are. ATG is your place. And remember, even as you go to ATG, Safaricom is your connectivity place, because Safaricom as well ensures that SMEs and corporates communicate efficiently and cut costs to stay connected across, even when you join ATG. So moving on, as we close the conversation, I'm curious to know about your adoption. And I know you have touched on trust because you have verified everybody who's coming on the platform, which is a great thing. But I just wanted to ask you about digital adoption, which can be slow. We have seen that sometimes, especially in some countries in Africa. But we really want to believe that they must be onboarded, as you have said, from SMEs to whatever level of business. What's your comment on this?
We are working with the Chamber of Commerce, we're working with the Manufacturers Association, we're working with the SME organizations, so that we get everyone accepting to join the ATG. So we are pushing currently by activation. Activation that we're doing currently is actually to make sure that there is acceptance and adoption by most of the companies that we are inviting to take part in. But just to give you some data, 90 banks across 35 African countries have approved. And the ecosystem has 9,000 verified companies. And we have seen some requests for quotations. So people go onto the system, they approach company X and say, give me a quotation for these products. That's equivalent to 3.5 billion that we have seen. And we have so far seen ATG transacting up to $145 million. That's what we have seen over the last 1 year. But we need more. Because an ecosystem works better when it has more participants.
Okay.
That's what we are pushing for in terms of adoption.
I love that.
Yeah.
In fact, the more the merrier. That's what they say.
Exactly.
Finally, years from now, 5-10 years, I'm sure you have a goal and you're looking at it. One of it being that the more the people, the better. What are your observations? What do you hope to see at the end of it all?
We want to see a situation where, as the AFCFTA takes ground on most of the African countries, we want to see a Kenyan trader saying he's expanding into supply of goods and services to countries or markets that they had not anticipated or that they had not thought about.
Yeah.
We want to see a milk trader in Kenya selling to Algeria, selling to Benin, selling to Cote d'Ivoire, and vice versa. Yeah. Suppliers of material, clothing material or clothes in West Africa saying they've got a strong market in East Africa. Yeah. That's the opportunities that we want to see. And we want to see Africans saying their market is beyond their national borders, but the whole of the African market. Yeah. And that's what is anticipated under the FCFTA. Yeah. And we think that this is achievable, and everyone has to give it a try. Absolutely. We need to do that so that we make a difference of our own current situation where we are not trading amongst ourselves and where we are buying probably goods that we don't produce on the African continent. You're right. Yes. I love this conversation. I think we'll have a part 2 soon enough, especially after seeing the goals of what ATG can do. Yeah. By the way, internet is very important in this whole thing, right? Yes, connectivity is important. Absolutely. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. And remember that connectivity right here in Kenya, Safaricom Business got you so that you are uninterrupted when you're doing your business cross-border even. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening to us. That has been Kudakwashe Matereke, the Director of Regional Operations East Africa at Afreximbank. I leave you now with the markets.